All right, my love. Lean in close. Let me tell you a story. I stood at the balcony, the Mumbai breeze playing with my sari balu, but my mind was miles away with him, Rahul. It had been a whirlwind, our romance, like a monsoon storm that just sweeps you off your feet. I, Meera, a simple girl from a traditional family, never thought I'd find such fire, such passion. Both Rahul, everything felt new, wild, and utterly exhilarating. Today was our 6-month anniversary, and he was coming over. My heart was doing a Bollywood dance in my chest. I'd spent the whole day getting ready, not just for him, but for us. The house was clean, a light jasmine incense was burning, and I was wearing a beautiful emerald green silk sari, the one he loved. It was soft against my skin, and I felt so desirable in it. My hair was open, cascading down my back, smelling of coconut oil and a little bit of longing. I looked at my reflection in the dressing table mirror. My eyes, dark and kohl-rimmed, sparkled with anticipation. My lips, full and reddened with my favorite lipstick, curved into a shy smile. And my body, well, my body was humming, a low, delicious thrum of excitement that started deep in my belly and spread everywhere. The doorbell rang and my breath hitched. He was here. I walked to the door, my feet almost floating. When I opened it, there he was, leaning against the doorframe. A mischievous grin on his face. He looked so handsome in a simple white kurta, his hair a little disheveled from the wind. His eyes, those deep, intense eyes, fixed on me. Slowly, he leaned in, and I closed my eyes, my heart pounding. His lips, soft and warm, met mine. It started slow, a tender kiss, full of affection. Then it deepened, his tongue gently seeking mine, exploring, tasting. My fingers instinctively curled around his arms, holding on, as if afraid I'd float away. The kiss grew more urgent, more demanding, and I responded with equal passion, my body pressing closer to his. I could feel the hard planes of his chest against my breasts, and a delicious ache started to bloom between my thighs. When he finally pulled away, we were both breathing heavily, our eyes shining. "Happy anniversary, my love," he murmured, his forehead resting against mine. "Happy anniversary, Rahul," I whispered back, still reeling from the intensity of the kiss. He led me to the sofa, his arm around my waist, his touch a constant source of warmth. We talked, just small talk at first, about our day, about work, but I could feel the unspoken current between us, the hunger that was simmering just beneath the surface. My mind kept drifting back to the feel of his lips on mine, the scent of his cologne, the warmth of his body. He reached for my hand again, his fingers lacing with mine. "Meera," he said, his voice dropping lower. He locked his fingers into mine, and then, in one dream state, he said, "Meera." He soaks up down his legs and walks you down the stairs. Where?" he said, his voice dropping lower. I can't stop thinking about you." My heart fluttered. "Me too, Rahul." He brought my hand to his lips, kissing my knuckles one by one. My breath hitched. I knew what he meant, and my body, every inch of it, was screaming yes. He gently pulled me closer on the sofa until I was practically sitting on his lap. My sari, already a little disheveled, rode up my thighs, and I could feel the warmth of his skin through the silk. He started tracing patterns on my arm, up and down, sending goosebumps dancing on my skin. His touch was so tender, yet so potent. Then, his hand moved to my waist, slowly, deliberately, with him. His fingers brushing against the bare skin above my sari blouse. A gasp escaped my lips. He leaned in, his mouth near my ear. "You feel so soft, Meera," he whispered, his voice husky. He started kissing my neck. Soft, lingering kisses that made my head fall back against the sofa. I could feel his breath on my skin, and it was intoxicating. His lips moved lower, trailing down my collarbone, making me shiver with pleasure. My hands found their way to his hair, my fingers tangling in the soft strands as I pulled him closer. He slowly unpinned my sari balu, letting the emerald silk fall away, revealing my blouse and the gentle curve of my belly. His eyes devoured me, and I felt a rush of both shyness and fierce pride. He then slowly, agonizingly slowly, unbuttoned my blouse. Each button that came undone felt like a release, a step closer to something incredible. When the last button was open, he pushed the silk fabric off my shoulders, letting it pool around my waist. I was left in my simple cotton petticoat and my lace bra, my breasts rising and falling with my quickened breaths. He gazed at me, his eyes full of adorance and a raw, hungry desire. "You are so beautiful, Meera," he breathed, his hands voice thick with emotion, warm and gentle, cupped my breasts over the lace. My nipples hardened instantly, straining against the fabric. He groaned, a low, guttural sound, and then he leaned in, his mouth closing over one of my peaks, suckling softly through the lace. Oh, the sensation. A jolt of pure pleasure shot through me, making my hips instinctively thrust forward. He removed my bra, letting it fall away. My breasts, full and heavy, were now completely exposed. He looked at them, his eyes dark with hunger, and then he lowered his head, taking one nipple fully into his mouth. He suckled with a slow, rhythmic intensity that made my toes curl. His tongue swirled around the sensitive tip, teasing, tormenting, and I arched my back, a moan escaping my lips. My fingers gripped his hair, pulling him closer, urging him on. He switched to the other breast, suckling with equal passion, his hand stroking my inner thigh, coming dangerously close to the warmth between my legs. I was a trembling mess, my body on fire, aching for more. He pulled away from my breast, leaving them wet and tingling. His eyes met mine, fiery and full of promise. "I want you, Meera," he whispered again, his voice raw with need. "I want you too, Rahul," I confessed, my voice barely a whisper. He then started to slowly, tantalizingly roll up my petticoat, inch by agonizing inch. My skin prickled with anticipation. When it was just above my knees, he paused, his eyes locked with mine, a teasing smile playing on his lips. Then, with a gentle tug, he slipped it down, letting it fall to the floor. I was now completely naked beneath him, vulnerable, exposed, and utterly aroused. He devoured me with his eyes, a deep, satisfied sigh escaping his lips. Then, his hand, oh, his wonderful hand, moved between my legs, his fingers finding the soft, moist folds of my womanhood. A shiver ran through me, a delicious tremor that started deep inside. His thumb stroked my clitoris just once, and I gasped, my body arching. "You're feeling so soft and warm, Meera," he whispered, his voice giving me goosebumps. He came close and kissed me slowly. His lips touched mine deeply, and our tongues met like they already knew each other. His hands moved gently, his fingers exploring me with care. I let out a soft sound full of feeling. He took his time, not rushing, making me feel every little thing. I wrapped my legs around his waist, pulling him closer, asking for more without saying a word. His touch became more intense, his fingers moving with purpose, making my body react on its own. My hips moved with his rhythm, like they were dancing together. He looked into my eyes, deep and full of meaning. "Look at me, Meera," he said softly. "I want to see how you feel." And I looked right into his eyes. I was lost in them while he continued touching me, filling my whole body with sweet, warm pleasure. Every part of me felt alive. It was like I was floating in a dream. Then suddenly he stopped for a moment. My body missed his touch already. But before I could say anything, he moved and came close, his body pressing against mine. I held my breath. This was the moment we were waiting for. He looked at me again, asking me silently if I was ready. I nodded, my heart beating fast. Slowly, carefully, he entered me. I gasped, feeling both pain and joy. He filled me fully, making my body feel whole. I hugged him tightly with my legs, not wanting any space between us. He paused, resting his forehead on mine. "Are you okay, my love?" he asked with love in his voice. "More than okay, Rahul," I said, my eyes getting wet, not from pain, but from how full my heart felt. Then he started moving, slow and deep. Our bodies matched each other perfectly. It was like we were made for this moment. The sounds in the room were only of us, soft breaths, small moans, and love. His movements became faster, more passionate. I held him tighter, my fingers pressing into his shoulders. My head went back, lost in the feeling. I didn't want the moment to end. The pleasure kept growing, wave after wave, until I could barely hold on. "Rahul, oh Rahul," I said, my voice breaking with emotion. He moved faster one last time, and then I reached my peak. A powerful, sweet release that made my whole body shake. I cried out his name, holding on to him like I never wanted to let go. He also let go at the same time, holding me tight, giving all of himself. He rested on top of me, his warm body comforting mine. Our breaths were heavy, our bodies tired but full of love. We stayed like that, in silence, hearts together, as one. We lay there for a long time, simply holding each other, the echoes of our passion still vibrating between us. His heart was pounding against my chest, matching the frantic beat of my own. I felt utterly spent, yet completely fulfilled. He finally stirred, lifting his head to look at me, his eyes soft and tender. He kissed my forehead, then my nose, then my lips. "I love you, Meera," he whispered, his voice full of genuine emotion. "I love you too, Rahul," I whispered back, a tear finally escaping and tracing a path down my temple. He smiled, a slow, contented smile. "You are everything, my love, everything." And in that moment, lying naked and entwined with the man I loved, I knew it too. This was more than just passion. It was a deep, soul-stirring connection. And I knew, with every fiber of my being, that our story had just begun.